Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to blind test 4 separate VST guitar amp simulators. Those 4 simulators will be VST Amprack, the included simulator that comes with Cubase, Guitar Rig 5 from Native Instruments, Amplitube 4 from IK Multimedia, and the PRS Supermodels that is sold by Waves. In this case, I'll be using the PRS Dallas, which is their amp that does really well with clean tones. Now, if there is one knock against VST amp simulators is that they don't do clean tones as well as they do dirty tones. So today we're going to play one clean riff, we're going to copy it to 4 tracks that are instantiated with these 4 separate amp sims, and we're going to see blindly which one we like the sound of the best, and then I'll give some follow-up notes on what it was like to dial in these 4 tones. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're here in Cubase, and I am going to actually bypass the insert on this amp simulator so that I can play a direct signal, and you'll hear that, and then you'll hear the amp sim afterward so that there's no spoilers. So let's do that, and through the magic of video editing, you'll see me with my guitar in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, close enough. And so to copy these to the 4 tracks that were in question, we'll instantiate that. We'll hold Control and Alt, and that's how you copy things in Cubase. And now they're copied to each track. So we can listen to the first amp sim, and let's check it out. Okay, here's amp 2. Amp 3. And finally, amp 4. So there you have it. I bet you're wondering which of these are which. Which is amp 1, which is amp 2, which is amp 3, and which is amp 4? Well, amp 1 is VST Amprack. And let's just get a little sample of that again. Now, I hate to bring in subjective terms, but VST Amprack always did sound a little digital to me, and it does have some disadvantages. I think it was the hardest one to dial in the tone because A, it does not have a built-in gate. All the others do. The module itself has a gate on every screen, so you can use your own gate. I had a little more trouble with the EQ, and I think their cabinet selection is very weak. You just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modeled cabinets. Now you can always add a third-party IR loader, and that'll make your VST amp sound better. But there's a graininess to VST Amprack that I never liked, and I mostly shy away from it. So let's just listen to the VST Amprack tone again, and I used the Deluxe amp simulator. So, it's passable in a mix, but it's not the one that I would reach for. Amp number 2 is actually the one that I reach for the most, and let's take a listen to that now. To my ears, amp number 2 sounds more natural, like a real amp, and it's also coincidentally my favorite one to play through the monitors. Now, I know that people a lot of times will say amp sims are just not the same as a real amp, and that's very true. And I think that's one reason I play this one a lot, is that I play it through the monitors. And this one is the PRS Waves Supermodels Dallas. So this is, they sell these as 3 standalone amps, the Dallas, the Archon, and the V9. And this is their clean amp in that 3 amp series. And it is one of my favorite clean amps to go to. I go to it all the time for recording cleans. I'll throw this on the track. And I just think it has a nice, realistic tone. Let's listen to it one more time. So that leaves amp number 3 and amp number 4. It's either Guitar Rig 5 or Amplitube 4. So what do you think this one is? Let's take a listen to it. This one has a little bit of that microchip quality too, and this one is Guitar Rig 5, and it's the Twang Reverb. I had this here, but it's I just used the reverb from the amp. Now, this is what I was saying with VST Amprack. There's a gate here. There's a gate on the Dallas amp, just built in there. You'll see there's a gate on Amplitube 4 when we get to the last amp. I just used the match cabinet with this, and it sounds fine. I think it would work in a mix, much like VST Amprack, but it's not the one that I would turn to first and foremost. So let's listen to that one more time. So finally, we have, of course, IK Multimedia's Amplitube 4. This was the amp that surprised me the most in terms of how much I like the sound. This is my favorite clean amp in their Fender series amps. It's the Vibro King. And and it's with the built-in Dwell mix and tone, so I think that's their built-in reverb. So let's just take a listen to how that sounds. Perhaps a little bit more digital than the Dallas, but it has a very nice clean tone. I would use that tone in a mix any day of the week. And I think this one was the sleeper winner. I think I like this one the most. I like Dallas the second, the Twang Reverb the third, and then the deluxe of the VST Amprack the fourth. That's how I would rate them. I don't know how you would rate them. Let me know in the comments. So this has just been a quick shootout of 4 separate VST amp libraries. I was surprised that I liked the sound of Amplitube the most, and then PRS Dallas second, Guitar Rig 5 third, and then VST Amprack fourth. But they're all usable if you know how to tweak them and you want to spend time. Of course, I just dialed in some quick clean tones, played one riff, copied it to all 4 tracks, and listened back. And that's a good way to test out multiple A/B settings of amps for your recording. You can just sort of copy them to multiple tracks, see what you like, keep the one that sounds the best to your ears. So this has just been a quick shootout of 4 VST amp simulator plugins. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.